if he had complied and gotten out of the car, these would be minor infractions. I don't even know if he would have gotten a ticket, but he didn't. And now you change the game.
Let's be clear. This isn't about compliance. This is about control. For black people, compliance doesn't guarantee safety. Ask Philando Castro, ask Central Blank, ask Tamir Rice. Wait, you can't. They are there. Compliance doesn't stop the bullets, the cuffs, or the jail time. I know people who were thrown in jail for days over a false accusation. Some were targeted simply because they resemble a suspect. Others because they were just black. No apologies, no justice. So don't preach to us about changing the game. The game was rigged before we were even born.
Does that mean he should have punched him? No. Does that mean that the context that you're hearing out there in a lot of the media coverage is distorted? Yes.
Distorted. The only distortion is the narrative they force feed us. They keep trying to shift the focus from brutality to behavior, from force to formality. But tell that to Django Bacon, a 15-year-old girl body slammed by a taxi cop for attending a pool party, or to 11 years old Understate Hedges, handcuffed at gunpoint. The destruction is deliberate, designed to justify abuse and gaslight our pain.
Very controversial case involving Jacksonville police and a guy who was pulled over that has led to a lot of media attention.
It is not controversial. It is consistent. Jacksonville today, Ferguson yesterday, Minneapolis the day before. America has always policed black bodies with suspicion. The real controversy is that we are still expecting to swallow it in silence.
And there was a press conference today about it, where the guy who was in the car is saying he did nothing wrong, and he is out there with Ben Crump, who is the go-to on cases that involve police officers and someone of color.
Okay, let's get this straight up, okay? Ben Crump is a civil rights warrior fighting to clean the blood of streets soaked in unpunished violence. If he is a go-to, it is only because the system refuses to go away. And yes, that brother did nothing wrong except driving while black. The same crime that got Sandra Bland arrested. The same crime that led to Breonna Taylor being shot in her own home.
This is a perfect example, this case, of how two things can be true at the same time.
True. Two things can be true. He may have been afraid, and the police were out of line. But the balance is never equal. Only one side carries the badge, the gun, and the law. The other carries trauma, history, and an unending funeral procession.
You'd think these cops are nuts. What could possibly have led them to do what they did?
That is what we deal with. What led them? Is that something you say when someone do something wrong, obvious that you know what they did wrong, but you're trying to cover that? Is that a way to cover the things? Centuries of unaccountable power, generation raised to fear black resistance, from slave patrols to traffic stops. The question isn't what led them. The real question is, why do they keep getting away with it? That's the real question you should be asking.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right?
Let me tell you, brother. He opened your door like he owned it. Like your rights were optional. This wasn't a stop. It was a message. one black folks across this country know too well. We can come in whenever we want.
And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather.
Let me try to understand this. Headlights? Are you serious? That is what started this? That is what started all of this? Headlights? You and I know this is why we don't believe in a justice system anymore. Because the excuses are so thin, they can dissolve in daylight. They kill Dante Wright over expired tags. The cause is irrelevant. The goal is intimidation. That's what it is. This is not about because a headlight wasn't on. Headlight being on, if it is raining, then his headlight is not on. That is another story. But you can't pull someone over just because you want them to turn the headlight on. Even if you do, you pull them over. You go to them and just ask them a simple question. Whatever happened to warning? Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but your headlight is off and it's a bad weather. What happened to that? What happened to warning ticket? But every time you see a black man in a car, every time you see a black man passing around, you attack them. The only time you respect a black man, the only time you want to see a black man, unless they're an athlete, unless they're running track and field, unless they're in the NBA, unless they're playing football, unless they're an actor to entertain you, unless they're a comedian. That's the only time you want to see a black man. Unless for the female, unless you want to fuck a black man. That's the only time they ever want to be close to that black person. But they never do. This is not about headlights. If someone, you're supposed to be the one to protect the citizen. You're supposed to protect us from bad people. But you are the one who we are afraid of. Some of us, when something happened to us, we do not call the cops. We are afraid to call the cops because the cops will either kill us than the thing we are afraid of. You see how crazy that is? You see the kind of world we're living in? You're living in a country where you're afraid of the cops. When someone is in your house trying to harm you, you are afraid to call the cops because when the cops show up, they will kill you. When the cops show up, they will do worse. You are afraid to call the person that you pay your hard-earning tax dollar to. The person that's supposed to protect you, you are afraid to call them when something bad is happening to you. This is ridiculous. Let's just put it that way. This shouldn't have happened in the first place. These guys passing around, that's what I always tell the people. You guys think that the KKK, for some reason, they just disappear? The KKK did not disappear. Those badges, those blue uniform, the KKK are embedded in there. ICE agent, you think someone with morals will see a mother in the car? They will arrest a mother right in the street. They don't care about the kids. And some of the cops, they will even arrest the father or the mother while the child is in the back of the seat. And they will not even care about that child. You think this is about law? This is not about you trying to regulate the law. This is not what it is. This is about extermination. You're trying to exterminate black folks because you know you can't deport them anywhere. You can deport everybody else, but you cannot deport the black people that are here. So the best way you try to get rid of them, mass incarceration, killing them every single day, go hunting for black people every single day. That's what it is.
Like,
So yes.
there's multiple people headlights off,
Okay,
first of
that's
all,
still
and then
legitimate reason.
there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
And no, the crazy thing is, he said he doesn't care. He told him that there's multiple people passing without that headlights on. He said he doesn't care. This happened to me before. I was driving, and then there was a hazard. I was driving a semi truck. I switched into the left lane because the hazard was in the right lane. All the people that were passing, he didn't pull any of them over. The moment he saw me, I could see him from my mirror. The moment I passed him, I saw him. He got behind me. We drove about a mile and he turned his light on. And everybody else that passed me, I saw them. They were all white truck drivers. None of them were pulled over. And when he pulled me over, I asked him why he pulled me over. He said, I was driving the wrong lane. I said, no, sir, there was the hazard. If even you can look back there, you saw the hazard. Everyone else was switching in the middle lane, and I was in the middle lane. To avoid hazard, I had to switch into the left lane. He said, well, someone had to be arrested. So that someone has to be me. He said that clearly. You see how crazy that sounds? And when you tell, so here's the thing, when you tell anybody this kind of story, they don't believe it. They'll be like, oh, I don't believe that. It happened to me. This shit is not made up. Look what he told him. He told him he doesn't care. Even though he explained to him that a lot of people passing over there with their headlights on, he said he doesn't care. You think he cares? That's not his goal. His goal is to arrest you, to throw you in jail, or to hurt you, or to kill you. The first thing, the moment they see a blind person, how can you be afraid of someone who is unarmed? The moment they see a blind man, when they say stop or they try to stop them, that hand goes straight on that gun.
My hands are right here. What's going on?
Why are you afraid of black people?
He was stopped for not
You don't want to have the gun. I should be afraid of you. You don't want that trigger happen all the time.
In the window.
So why are you afraid of me? I don't have any gun. But that's what they do. Quickly they put out a gun. I seen that. It happened to me again.
Second Lieutenant Karen
So,
Nazario.
I am not the only one this shit happened to. Almost every black person out there have forced, most of them have forced that they
The
accused.
lieutenant is pepper sprayed.
And most of them have
He
seen
gets
them
out,
in action.
wincing in pain, and is
I
forced to
got
the
pulled over
ground.
because I was driving a beautiful car. So I looked like a drug dealer that they were looking for. They pulled me over, they threw me in jail. And then the next thing they said, we saw it. That's all they told
He
me.
thought
They
the
saw it.
SUV driver was eluding police. The Army officer says he was
This is
just
not
driving
about
to a
the law. This is about how you're trying to intimidate black people in this country. This is about intimidation. And this is about extermination.
Can you pull that law
Yeah,
up?
when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hands!
We show our hands, we still get shots. Stephon Clark had a phone. Walter Scott ran. Showing our hands doesn't protect us. It just gives them a clearer target.
Here.
Just to get the different yet.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right. Get on the ground.
No,
Get on the
no,
ground.
don't.
Get on the ground.
Stop fighting!
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Resist. Hands behind your back.
So if you just see this, right? Guys just asking, why am I getting pulled over, right? Next thing he knows, cops are breaking the window, punching him, etc. What that doesn't show is what led up to that. What led up to that was that the guy was refusing to get out of his car. And in fact, he shut his door and locked himself in after officers asked him to get out. And then he asked to talk to somebody else.
You see, asking for a supervisor is not a crime. It is a plea for fairness. But for black men, it's treated like rebellion. Our tone is rare as aggression. Our questions are seen as threats. Our dignity is mistaken for defiance. This is insane. You don't know this kid. You never met him before. How can you get angry just because he's not getting out of the car? Didn't it occur to you that he's not getting out of his car because he's afraid? He's not getting out of the car because of what you guys do when someone step out of the car. If he try to open the door to step out, you could shoot him. And you will be like, He has something in his hand. How many times have you guys shot kids, boys, girls, men, father, mothers, brothers, sisters, and accuse them of having guns and accuse them of attacking you? How many times? So, isn't that common sense? When you had one black kid and all of you guys surrounding him, don't you think, even though he kept his composure, but don't you think he was very afraid? But we've been trained. We are not supposed to be intimidated. We comply. And what he didn't do anything wrong. But these people don't do their job. Instead, they try to kill. That's what it's all about. They want to kill you.
And that was the other person you heard him talking to, another cop there. Now, I'm not going to defend the cop punching him in the face, right?
You know, this is the most craziest things I ever heard. I am not going to defend the cops. But still, you are defending the cops. The kids that got punched in the face, thrown on the ground. Here you are. Is saying that the kids is wrong. Everything you explaining over there is all show that what you saying is that the kid is wrong. I would just be honest with you, man. The fact that you will see the video and you make that kind of comment, you make that kind of statement on your podcast, I understand you're trying to get views, bro. In fact, you're not my brother. I understand you're trying to get views. But this is not the way to go about it. You are no melanated guy. Why do you think you have the right or you have any voice in the melanated people business? You don't understand our struggle. You don't understand what we've been through. Some of you guys are privileged. Y'all been privileged all your life. Y'all talk down on black people. Y'all look at them only when they come to sports. Y'all respect them when they come to entertainment. So, you sitting over there making a kind of statement, it just show who you are, just as racist. And this is what they always say, oh, I got a black friend. No one give a shit whether you got a black friend. Having a black friend doesn't mean that you're not racist. Eating a black food doesn't mean that you're not racist. Hanging out with black folks doesn't mean you're not racist. Let me tell you, racism is a system. It is not an individual. It's a system, and that same system is what you are defending. So what do you say about that? So you are part of the system. The fact that you defended it. If that was your kid, if that was your son who was pulled over like that and got punched in the face, what would you say? Will you sit over there on your high horse and make these statements? No, you won't. First of all, you will be looking for a lawyer. You will try to lawyer your son up so you can sue them. But because a blind man, we are half a human to you, because that's what was written in the Constitution. And I'm pretty sure when you are going to school, that's what they teach you. You know, the only sad thing here is as black people, because from the early age we were not taught the science of warfare, we don't know who our enemies are. We don't. That's why brothers turn against each other and kill each other. But if they wake up, if black people wake up in this country and realize that your brother that next to you is not the enemy, sooner or later, all these nonsense, all these trigger-happy shooting, all these unnecessary arrests, none of it will be happening. Because you know why? You touch one blind man, you touch all blind men. But because we were not taught the science of warfare, we are confused people. We don't know who our enemies are. So instead, we go targeting each other. And instead, we allow the system to turn us against each other. Because we do not understand the science of warfare. So therefore, we don't know who our enemies are. We are just murdering each other, and they make that to be the statistics. More black people kill more black people than white people do. That's what they say all the time. Isn't that what they always say? Always.
For a minute, I thought maybe when he was punching through the window, he hit him. Regardless, I'm not going to defend. But I am going to say this is nowhere near as outrageous an incident as Ben Crump and McNeil want us now to believe. Because the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, after that came out, released the body cam footage of what happened.
That is because their threshold for outrage is warped. When you are used to blind pain, it stops shocking you. When you benefit from the system, injustice look like protocol. Every single day, y'all benefit from blind pain, from blind struggle. You are mentioning this right now on your platform, so people like me, or even someone who have more followers, who bigger, can come and attack you. So now you can get famous, and now you can get more subscribers, and now you can get more views and make money. This is how you guys always do things. Why don't you talk about other things that have to do with all the nasty things that white people are doing? Why don't you talk about it? All the nasty things that the white people are doing, pedophile. You know, got sex trafficker. Why don't you talk about that? Why you had to put your mouth in black people business? You're trying to talk about it as if you know what is happening. Maybe you know, but you just play dumb. Or you just fail to understand it because you don't want to. You are a horrible person. You. Because everything you said, every comment, every statement, none of it meant any good to anybody. It is all because you want the views. Always trying to benefit from blind struggle, from blind pain. And a lot of people get mad for me saying the truth. You know, this is that magic word, right? They always hide behind. You are resisting arrest. You are resisting. Stop resisting. And they will be lying about it. Stop resisting. The person will be literally laying out flat on the ground with both hands behind their back. And they will be telling them, stop resisting. Stop resisting arrest. How can someone be on the ground and you kneeling over them and asking them that they're resisting arrest? The hangers is on their hand, both arms, and you telling them they're resisting. And sometimes they will keep saying that while squeezing the person till they break their neck, till they crush them, till they destroy their spinal cord, and they keep saying the same shit. And nobody get penalized for it. They all walk away free.
Leading up to that, this is the body cam footage of the conversation that happened preceding it.
Yes, sir. Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that? I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over? Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
37, 35. I'm proper the dog driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle. 25 seconds. For 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it. Sir, it's your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. No, he's under arrest. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Okay, so now there's some context here, right? It's not just crazy cops break window, right? No, it's how many times did you hear the cop there? How many times did he tell them, get out of the car, open the door? This is not AT&T, right? You don't get to ask for a supervisor and then immediately you're transferred to the supervisor.
It doesn't matter how many times the cop said open the door. He is very afraid at this moment. Because he doesn't, first of all, the other body can show they had a kid at gunpoint.
Is taking a stand as it relates to the racial profiling that happens in America far too often. This phenomenon called driving while black. You can believe your eyes, you can believe your ears. The fact that we know it was driving while black because Williams said, "Why are you stopping me?" And the officer told him, "Well, you don't have your headlights on," even though it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, broad daylight. The fact that he said, "Why do I have to have my headlights on?" The officer said, the law says when it's raining or foggy, you have to have your headlights on. It was clear from the video, it wasn't any kind of inclement weather. And they beat him and brutalized him, and even when he was handcuffed, they repeatedly slammed his head to the concrete. Attorney Daniels is certainly going to go into more detail about his medical conditions and the psychological trauma he's having. But here, you got that right there. It is clear that William McNeil Jr. was not lying when he said the police had him at gunpoint. We know there are other videos that exist, right, Attorney Daniels, that we do not have. And we don't think this is the only officer who drew his gun on this unarmed young black man who, look at the video, he never escalated anything. He was never violent. He's a college student. He's never been convicted of anything. He's never even been arrested of anything. But yet, he was treated like a hardened criminal the way they brutalized him. And so at this time, I'm going to have my great co-counsel, Attorney Harry Daniels, talk to you about what this means and how significant of a development this is as we prepare to explore every legal remedy.
At gunpoint, they had it at gunpoint. So he's afraid. And you sit there, you make all these statements like you know what you're talking about. So, oh yeah, and now there is a contest. Okay. I say you are wrong. People like this guy are the one who are creating problem in this country. You don't use a platform to spread positive thought, to speak on your truth. But instead of you defending the victim, instead you go against the victim and you glorify the villain.
Yes, you can ask, but when a cop on the side of the road tells you to do something, it's not an option.
But we don't get to ask. That is a constitutional right. What we don't get is the benefit of the doubt. What we don't get is equal protection under the law. The Constitution never guarantees justice for blind skin. It's only guarantee delay, denial, and death.
It's not, oh, well, you know, I don't think I did anything wrong, so I'm not going to comply. And what happens in these cases is the public gets so focused on why he gets pulled over for not having his headlights on and not having a seatbelt. You know, these are minor infractions. That's exactly right. They are minor infractions. And if he had complied.
Minor infractions. If this was your child or your wife or your daughter, will you make that statement? How many more have complied and still die? Ayanna Stanley Jones was 7 years old, sleeping, complied with nothing, still dead. Compliance doesn't erase the system. It only delays its teeth.
This is the sheriff, T.K. Waters, from Jacksonville, who's talking about the investigation. This is number 24. Here he is providing, as he was releasing the body cam leading up to it, which, they didn't want to seem to include. Here's what he said, number 24.
In this case, the cell phone camera footage that began viral circulation over the weekend does not comprehensively capture the circumstances surrounding this incident.
You are talking about a cell phone camera does not comprehensively capture the circumstances. Neither does a badge. But that doesn't stop you from playing judge, jury, and executioner. Cell phones didn't kill George Floyd. Police did. Cameras didn't choke Eric Garner. Cops did. And even when we film it all, justice still doesn't show up.
And that is to be expected. Part of that stems from the distance and perspective of the recording cell phone camera. Another part of it stems from the fact that the cell phone camera did not capture the events that preceded Officer Bowers' decision to arrest McNeil. Moreover, cameras can only capture what can be seen and heard. So much context and depth are absent from recorded footage because the camera simply cannot capture what is known to the people depicted in it.
All right, and now let's play a little bit more of the sheriff. This is number 26. This is a press conference from Monday. Let's listen.
It's important for the people to know that you're not allowed to resist a police officer when he's doing his lawful duties.
Lawful duties. What is lawful about that? There is nothing lawful about a grown man punching the windows of a kid and punching them in the face and dragging them out just because the headlights wasn't on when the weather was not bad. So, what is lawful about that? Lawful according to who? Was it lawful to kneel on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes? You say lawful, we say lynching. That's what it is. Killing people in broad daylight and blaming it and using the law as an excuse in resisting arrest. Or he just doing a lawful duty. What is lawful about murdering the very person you're supposed to protect? And not only everybody, you choose a specific group of people to just murder and say you're doing your lawful duty.
It's been dealt with in several different times. You don't resist when you're doing your lawful duties.
You know what is painful? We are in the 21st century. This is 2025 and we still have the Django character. We still have black men who is the house Negro because they've been brainwashed. This has been passed on. This is the plantation psychosis. You a black man. What is painful is seeing a black man who doesn't understand the pain that all black people are going through in this country. And are you doing this because of the money, Sheriff? Is this because of the money? You're trying to tell me you cannot find another way to make a living? Then you have to be selling out your people. You have to be exterminating your people. You have to be the face of the very system that destroys your people. And you will stand there and give a speech like this without you being even embarrassed. How? It's painful to see another black man hurting another black man. Especially when you know this is going on. You know all the details. How can you hate Why will you hate your own black people like this? You got in the fold so that you can be able to make some changes so we are not being hunted. You got into the fold. They gave you the opportunity. God gave you the opportunity. Our ancestor gave you the opportunity to join the fold so that you can be able to make some changes. So those unfair circumstances, those unfair police brutality, those unfair murder, those streets that are soaked with unpunished blood, so you can be able to make some justification. You can be able to bring some changes so that they know we are people. But you stand there, do you think what is happening to black people around you, do you think it won't happen to you?
You don't deserve to get violated, but you deserve to get what's necessary to get you under control and get you and take you into custody.
Control. Control is a key word. This isn't about safety. It is about domination. It's the same old slave breaker mentality dressed in body armor. Get the black man to submit, break his will, humiliate him in public, remind him who's boss.
And he made it clear there's an ongoing investigation, right, into what should happen to the officer involved. All right. But according to attorney Ben Crump, this is just him practicing his rights, right? Number 13, this is the press conference that just happened today.
I understand the sheriff said anti-police. No. It's not anti-police when an American citizen asks, why are you stopping me?
It's called citizenship. But when you are black, you are always suspect first, a citizen later, if ever. Our questions challenge the illusion of their authority. That is why our lives are constantly on trial.
That is an American citizen exercising his constitutional rights.
It's his constitutional right to ask questions. It's not his constitutional right to refuse to get out of the car. It's not his constitutional right to lock the doors. That's made up.
And you talking about it is not his constitutional right to refuse to get out of the car. That is made up. What is made up is a myth that black people ever had equal protection under the law. From Dred Scott to Jim Crow to stop and freak. The Constitution has never been colorblind. So spare us the legalese. We are not resisting arrest. We are resisting extension. How can you not understand that? And if you are really listening, hear this. This isn't just a pattern. It is a policy. A historical script replayed over and over again. Ricky Boy shot by an off-duty cop. No charges. Pouring games. Killed in front of a 5-year-old. Upton Sterling shot at point blank while penned down. Freddie Gray, spinal cord severed in the police van. Caliph brother thrown in jail for 3 years. Never convicted. I have friends who were jailed for 3 days of a false accusation. That story isn't rare. It is routine. That is why I am frustrated. Platforms like yours gaslight these tragedies and make people feel as if what you are saying is right or even rooted in empathy. Why does a white man feel entitled to speak on behalf of black people? Why does he insert himself into black grief and struggle as if he understands even a millimeter of our reality? How we live, how we suffer, how we have been treated in this country for over 400 years. We are not crazy. We are not violent. We are not making this up. We are hunted. We are hunted. And we are done playing polite about it. So you sitting there acting as if you understand what a black man go through daily, the barriers, everything that we earn, we gotta work twice as hard. And you sit there, you want to be the judge and jury for things that you have no idea what it is, but you want to make a comment about it to make money off of it. That is the same thing. Like I said, you a leech. You feed on black struggle. You benefit from our pain.